All right, guys, so today we've got three great family towns that aren't in Knoxville. So if you're someone who's looking to relocate your family to East Tennessee and Knoxville's not really your cup of tea, then this is going to be the video for you. So as a lot of you guys know, I just recently had a sweet, precious baby girl, and she gave me the inspiration to do a video like this for all the people out there who want to move to our area and who have families, right? So I've based the towns that I'm picking out off of 5 categories. So we have schools, we have conveniences, we have healthcare, we have activities, and we have safety. I think as parents, these are five things that we can all agree on are very important to us. So let's get started. And the first town we're going to talk about is going to be Maryville. So Maryville schools rank at an A minus, and their lowest score is a B minus for diversity. Now I'm using niche.com to get all of these rankings. You guys can go check niche.com out and use that for any school that you want to check out. I will say the only gripe that I have with niche.com is I don't love that it docks schools for diversity. You can't really control the people that live in your area. Now look, if they're running people off because of a certain religion or color or whatever, I get it, but they're not. So I don't understand why that's dropping their score. Regardless, an A minus is still a really good score. And then along with academics, their athletic program is really good as well. The Maryville High School football team had a absolute tear of winning. I mean, it was, seems like they won the state championship like 10 years in a row or something crazy. But anyways, so schools there, really good according to niche.com. The next topic I want to talk about is conveniences. So conveniences in Maryville, and listen, I live in Maryville, so I've watched it grow from like this country bumpkin nothing town to, this really nice, charming place that it is today, and it is crazy how much stuff we have here. If you're moving here from a big city, you probably will feel different. If you're moving here from a smaller town, you'll probably understand what I'm saying. But anyways, we have, just options galore, right? If you're wanting to go to the grocery store, we have Publix, Kroger, Food City, Walmart, several others, Aldi's, whatever. If you want to go to a restaurant and get something to eat, you've got high-end restaurants, you've got mom pa shops, you've got the franchisee stuff like Cracker Barrel, Olive Garden and stuff, and then you've even got all of your fast food options, the Chick-fil-A's, the Salsaritas, stuff like that. As far as shopping goes, if you want to go get yourself some clothes, tons of different options. You've got outdoorsy places, you've got your Targets, you've got your boutiques, you've got, all kinds of different stuff. When it comes to shopping, the only thing that I would say is kind of a negative is if you're looking for dress clothes. And you guys know I don't really wear dress clothes a lot. In fact, I honestly normally buy all my stuff online anyways. But if I did need to go buy like a really nice, suit or something like that, I'd probably drive 30 minutes down the road and go to Knoxville. You're going to have a lot better options there. And so with, conveniences, like I said, if Maryville for some reason doesn't have what you want, then you're, a quick 30 minutes from Knoxville, which is more than likely going to have what you need. It's a bigger city. But anyways, as far as conveniences go, like I said, you're really covered. All of your, automotive stores, you've got pretty much all of them. Your hardware stores, you got pretty much all of them. So I really think that you're going to be covered, from the convenience standpoint. So then we'll move into healthcare. So right off the bat, what I can tell you is that the hospital we have here in Maryville is Blount Memorial Hospital. I don't have a ton of experience with them. I've been there several times throughout my life, but it's been like 10 years since I went to them for something for me. However, we did just recently deliver our baby girl at their birthing center, and I have to say they were fantastic. I highly recommend them. Look, things did not go according to plan. We had a scare with preeclampsia and an emergency C-section, and they were just so good. They kept everyone calm. They, got everything taken care of, and just the doctors, the nurses. Again, I could not recommend them anymore. Don't know about the rest of the hospital, but those folks are fantastic. So other than the hospital, you're going to have several, clinic options. So you've got all your minute clinics, your urgent cares, lots of different options there. You've got tons of different primary doctor options. You've got, some specialists and things like that. And again, if you don't find what you need in Maryville, which you probably will, you're only, 30 minutes from Knoxville, which is going to have even more options. So again, with healthcare, I think you're going to be covered. We're covered. We feel, very happy with it. We really rarely go to Knoxville or any other town for anything medically, but we are, relatively healthy. So, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be activities. And so the first thing that's really cool about Maryville is that we have this really nice little downtown area where there's some really cool restaurants. There's like an Italian place. There's a Flats and Tap spot, but there's a really cool local coffee shop, and there's a really cool ice cream shop. You should definitely take your kids there, or just go yourself. My wife and I, before we were parents, we definitely went there. We actually went there like 4 days before our daughter came. But what's also cool about downtown is that they do different events. So like they just did a Grinchmas where they had like fake snow, and they, had their trees and all the decorations. And it was this cool little fun little, family event, really cool place to take your kids. We didn't get to go, unfortunately, because of, the birth of our girl and everything, but we had friends and family that did. We saw the videos. It looked awesome. And they do tons of stuff like that. They have different holiday events. They have farmers markets down there, and, all kinds of fun stuff. So another good activity is, all of the parks that we have here. You've got some really nice parks, Sandy Springs, you've got the Greenbelt, several others. They're actually all connected through bike trails as well, which is really neat. So if you're someone who likes to bicycle, but you want to get off the roads, there's like 9 miles, that you can take of just, park trails, which is really cool. Another cool thing about our parks is during the wintertime. So like right now, the park downtown, the Greenbelt, they stock trout. So that's, a fun place to go if you want to maybe dip your toes into the fishing world, or maybe you just want to go have a quick, a fish or whatever. That's a great place to go. It's super easy, and it's really convenient because it's right in downtown Maryville. So along with the parks, we also have a movie theater. It's not anything fancy, but you definitely have, your 3D and IMAX and stuff like that. It's definitely good enough to have a fun little, family movie trip if you're into that. And then, getting more into the outdoors world, if you're into cars, there's a really big scene for cars here because you've got, the world famous Dragon. You've also got the Parkway, which is a really pretty drive, lots of pretty pull-offs and views and stuff like that. We have several different bodies of water. So you've got Fort Loudon Lake. That's the lake that goes through the biggest counties. So that's going to be your more populated lake, but you're going to have, lots of water sports, lots of marinas, lots of public access places. Just a fun place to go. You've also got Tellico Lake. That's my personal favorite. So with Tellico Lake, you're going to have, a lot more public land. So you've got like islands and things like that you could pull your boat up to and just spend the day. Again, really good marinas, really pretty out there. You've got a lot of mountain views and things like that. So Tellico Lake's great. And then you even have Chilhowie Lake, which is what I consider a hidden gem. It's up in the mountains. There's no development on it hardly at all. It's just a really pretty place to go. The water's even a little bit colder because it's mountain water. But the lakes up there are wonderful. And then one of the biggest, and best benefits to living in Maryville is you're so dang close to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. So within, 15, 20 minutes, you can be in the park. So if you're into hiking, if you're into fishing, kayaking, whatever it is that you want to do, you have all of that just right at your fingertips, and a lot of people move, to Maryville because of that. So I think you're going to be very satisfied with the activities Maryville has to offer. So let's move on to safety. So I'm going to be using this site called crimegrade.org. I really like citydata.com. That's a great website to check out as well. But citydata.com doesn't have statistics for some of the smaller towns that I'm going to be doing in this series. So I wanted to use a website that's going to have all of them so I can give you, something to compare and contrast to, something that's going to rank things the same way. So we're using crimegrade.org, and Maryville comes in at an A-, so relatively safe. Now, the next town we're going to be talking about is going to be Alcoa. Alcoa is basically like the little brother of Maryville, and people that are from the high school at Alcoa are going to hate that I say that, but it's true. I mean, it's a little bit smaller, but they're right next to each other. And I mean, Most of the time, I don't even realize if I'm in Alcoa or Maryville. They're just basically just right there. But the schools rank very well according to niche.com. They come in at an A, with the lowest score being a B plus in college prep. So really good schools according to niche.com, and their athletics are really good as well. I believe they just won the state championship again, and they've had several players that have gone D1. They even have, Randall Cobb. You've probably heard of him. He's a famous, really good wide receiver in the NFL. He's had a very successful career. Fun fact, I used to play against him when I was in Pee Wee, and he was just as good then as he is now. So not surprised he made it to the NFL. But anyways, as far as conveniences, healthcare, and activities go, I'm just going to refer back to the Maryville section. Again, they're close towns. Everyone's doing the same stuff right there. So Alcoa, pretty much the same. Now, here's the kicker. Alcoa's safety score is coming in at a D. Now, listen, I'm not allowed to tell you, this is a good area or this is a bad area. All I can do is show you these maps. But if you do look at the map, you can see that there's one area that definitely brings the score for all of it down. I have spent a lot of time in Alcoa. I know a lot of people that live in Alcoa. I've never had any issues in Alcoa. I'm not worried about it one bit. If I'm going to show properties, if I'm going to shop, whatever it is, it never even really crosses my mind. Again, in all my years of, being in and around Alcoa, I've never had anything bad happen to me. That's not to say it couldn't to you. Do your own research. But, I just want to give it to you as straight as I can without getting in trouble. Okay, and so with that, we're going to move on to our third and final town, and this is going to be the historical town of Oak Ridge. I don't know if they claim to be historical, but there's so much history in Oak Ridge. It's a super cool place because Oak Ridge Laboratory helped develop the Manhattan Project, or the atomic bomb, back for World War II. So again, tons of history there, just a lot of really cool stories, a lot of cool places to check out. So let's dive right into the schools. Oak Ridge schools rank at an A, with their lowest score being a B plus in diversity and administration. Their athletics are good. They've put some people into the NFL as well. You guys probably know of a pretty big one right now, T. Higgins, big time wide receiver, straight out of Oak Ridge. Okay, let's talk about conveniences now, and a very similar to Maryville. Okay, so the conveniences in Oak Ridge, you've got a lot of the same stuff. Several grocery store options. You've got several shopping options, for clothing and stuff like that. Lots of different restaurant options. You've got, mom and pop shops. You've got big franchisey stuff. All of that. One of the biggest difference, I would say, in Maryville and Oak Ridge is that Oak Ridge is actually a little bit closer to West Knoxville. So you're going to, have a little bit better access to West Knoxville. And that's going to open up more opportunity for you there. But again, I think you're going to be, like Maryville, I think you're going to be very satisfied with the conveniences. So now moving on to healthcare. Oak Ridge does have a hospital. It's Methodist Medical Center. I have zero experience with that hospital. Don't know anybody really that does either. Or I probably do. I just haven't really talked to them about it. But anyways, do the research on your own. I don't want to, say anything good or bad about it without actually knowing. But the other stuff, the minute clinics, the primary cares and the specialties and stuff like that, you've got all of those options in Oak Ridge as well. And again, if what you need is not in Oak Ridge, you're close to Knoxville. So you've got lots of options there as well. Now, as far as activities go, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Oak Ridge. So one cool thing about Oak Ridge is it borders Melton Hill Lake. So you've got lots of cool fishing opportunities there. You've got lots of kayaking opportunities there. If you're into rowing, there's actually a rowing course. There's lots of parks spread out across the lakes. So you get lots of these really cool parks with really pretty views because it's, at the lake, and you have a lot of public access to the lake. So all that is really cool. One of my favorite parks is Melton Hill Lake Park. And this is a really nice place. I mean, you can go there and rent kayaks and paddle boards and things like that. You can go around the lake. There's playgrounds, and there's actually trails that go right along, or sidewalks that go right along the lake there. And it's a pretty good stretch. So you can walk your dogs, you can just go on a jog, you can ride your bike. And there's always like people out there being real active and doing stuff. And I love to see that, you know. It's ironic that I'm saying this because you guys are staring at a screen now, but I love to see people outside and not glued to a screen. You know, I think that that's really healthy for society. But anyways, that's a really cool thing. You've also got a movie theater. You've got old Tinseltown in Oak Ridge, so that's a great place to go if you want to check out some movies. You've also got really cool access if you're into like the ATVs or mountain biking, any of that stuff where you get good and muddy. You've got Windrock, which is just one town over in Oliver Springs. It's a mountain bike and ATV park. So, you know, you've got, you know, miles and miles of really cool trails you can go to. You also have Hall Ridge Park, which has like, I think it's like 30 miles of biking and mountain biking trails. So that's a really cool place to go to. So again, lots of outdoorsy, you know, activities that you can do in Oak Ridge. So now I want to move on to the safety part, and this is going to be the last part of this video. And so with safety, you're coming in at a B minus. I would say kind of the same thing about the other towns. Like I spent a lot of time in Oak Ridge, and you know, I've never had anything bad happen to me. Not saying that it won't to you. Again, do your own research, you know, come to your own conclusions. But, you know, that's my experience. I think these are all three towns that you should definitely check out if you're looking to move here with your family. And look, if you guys have any additional questions about these towns or any other towns in East Tennessee, I've been all around our area, and I really do think that I have a pretty good, you know, idea, pretty good understanding of my entire area just through different jobs I've had, different hobbies I have, and with real estate. I mean, I've really spent a lot of time in all of them. So please reach out if you have any questions. I'd love to help you guys out get moved here. If not, I hope you enjoyed the video. But with that, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to get to work on another video. So you guys have a wonderful day. Catch you all on the next one. Bye.